How we doing out there? I'm serving the Most High. Do we know who we are? We're children of God. Who else would we be? We're understanding what? That the principalities are pushing against us, that they want us to be something spun up out of favor. And, out of favor with the Father because they've issued so many decrees and so many things that goes on in everybody's lives that they keep you spun up to where you don't realize that you're a child of God. It's the truth. The thing about it is that in the alignment with the Father, God's natural law, they really wanted to press against you so hard that it would make you turn and look this way, and turn and look this way, and turn and look that way, and say, oh, my obedience is to who? This, who, that? What is my obedience to? The thing about it is, I can tell you this for a fact. When you spend time with the Father and you read His precepts, statutes, commandments, testimonies, that is a signature of what you're writing to understand that you're with the Father. That is the point of understanding that there's nothing else other than the Father. Nothing. Okay? No nothing shall be forged against you shall prosper. Okay? We understand that we live in a world where we've been pressed against, but the thing about it is that I want you to understand this, and I say it all the time, that squirrels and rabbits, they don't want for anything. That's Beelzebub flying all around my head trying to keep me distracted, but that don't work for me. The thing about it is that you're the wonderful children of God. Did I get him? Hope so. The thing about it is that you're spending time in the Word, you're spending time with the Father, you're showing obedience. That's obedience. As we go and walk through life with our obedience, the Father is obedient to us. His Word is gold. Okay? Every word that He's got, every word that He puts on this, has put in this Bible, is gold. The point of understanding that is how you understand it, how you perceive it. Okay, Father, I'm going to spend time with you. Don't do much of this, but I'm going to do this, no matter what I have to do. You spend time with Him, you spend time in the Word. Now you're showing your obedience. Now what's Father going to do? He says, okay, I will give you your heart's desires. And it's the truth. But to understand that these things start in very small packages. And the thing about it is that the way you unpack this is, I say, a pickle, a banana, or whatever it may be. It might be a fish. I don't know. Whatever it may be to you. And then all of a sudden, you're just minding your own business. You forgot about all that. You're just being happy going down the road or just wherever you got. And all of a sudden, a fish falls from the sky and hits the windshield. Splat! And you go, Father, is that you? And understand that's how it works. It just happens. And it's not flashy. It's not raw, But once you start catching on to it, and then you understand how the Father's laying this in front of you and how it works, you will be fit to be tied, like I said. They will be putting you in a straitjacket because you'll be willing to do anything under the sun just to be with the Father. And that's a fact. And as you're walking along, and all these things start happening for you. And look here. I will tell you this. And now there's two sides to the coin. Always two sides to the coin. if you've done something, or if things have been pressing against you, okay, you spun up, or you're in travail, you have trouble in your heart, in your mind, you're backing up thinking this and you're thinking that, and you're going, well, this, well, that. Look here. The Father knows. It could be witchy woo-ha, it could be psychological, it could be all these things. But no weapon forged against you shall prosper. You staying with the Father and staying in the Word, and then He starts removing those things. And maybe you will have to take it inward. Maybe you will have to digest that again. Maybe you will have to go through it again in your own mind. And then once you get on the other side, you start feeling a little better and you turn back. Understand that when you turn back, you're going to get poked again. You're going to go right back through it again. You get on the other side, you're pretty clean. You're looking around, and you know this thought's fixing to come into your mind, okay? And then you go, here comes the thought. You go, Father, that's not me. I have nothing to do with that, and you just keep on walking. And that's how you get over it. That's how you get through these things. That's how you get through it with the Father. Trauma, death, whatever it may be. And you may have been in it for quite some time. But the point of it is that the Father put you through that because it's armor. It's not He put you through it. It's whatever principality or whatever psychological woo-ha, I would say. And one day I'm going to tell everybody what woo-ha means. But the thing about it is that I had got that from a lady that said somebody was doing witchy woo-ha. But the thing about it is that if it's a point to understand that you spend time with the Father, you're seeing what's going on, you're getting your downloads, your inner affirmations about things that are going on. And what happens is that you start seeing your blessings and gifts start coming. Look, I'll tell you for right now, my blessings and gifts were coming left and right. I didn't know where they was coming from. I was receiving checks in the mail. I didn't know where they was coming from. Honestly. I had no pickup in the backyard. Hadn't been started in 6 years. I go back there and it fires right up. I drive it for a little while and I sell it. Father, just like yesterday. I go home and I got a check in the mailbox. You can't. I know you really. You want to believe, but you don't want to believe, but you don't know, or you just think. The thing with the Father is that these things will come into your mind, and you will think, where'd that come from? What is that? Kind of like whenever I went to Kentucky. Father spoke Kentucky. Just clear as bell. Kentucky. I hadn't lost nothing in Kentucky, I can tell you that. Then all of a sudden, I go to Kentucky and meet a pagan. Because he knows I won't believe it unless I put my finger on it. Then I understood. I understood what I had to dive off into. I understood what was coming down the pike. I understood about whenever I went on the pilgrimage of thinking about don't have any money, thinking about not having anything to eat, thinking about all these things that everybody else out here is thinking about. Thinking about not having a place to sleep. Thinking about where am I going to be at tomorrow. Thinking about, Father, how long am I going to have to sleep on the street? But the Father put me through all of that to understand what the people were going through. All the way down to the pagans, all the way down to the covens, all the way down to people breadcrumbing and unaliving people for their homes and their insurance policy. Look, the Father put me through it, all the steps, all the way through, so I would understand what's going on in this world. Because look here, guys, I did not have any idea that people have invented such a place for all of those things to take place on this planet. I didn't have a clue. And to understand that the decrees and the witchy woo-ha has been spun up against you in the governments, in the states, in your cities, your principalities. Look, y'all didn't have a chance. I'm glad I never lived that life. I lived a life completely different than everybody else did. I just eat, sleep, work, that's all. I built my own homes. I've done things myself. I didn't expect anybody else to do it. I didn't have no credit. Still don't have any credit. Because I don't use credit. Whatever I go do, it just happens. It just pops up in front of me and it just goes. And I've started several businesses like that. And, I still believe the same way. The Father will provide. And it's the truth. The understanding of where you're at in this battle with the world, the flesh, it's all a lie. Okay? Everything in it is a lie. You're eating foods that are killing you. Who in their right mind would put that stuff out there? Would you believe that your government would do that? Would you believe that your state lets it happen? The water. Do you believe the water's bad? Would the state let that happen? Would the federal government let that happen? If it's all, yeah, they'd let it happen, guess what? Then that means that they don't care nothing about you. I listened to a guy earlier today about step by step by step how this is all going to play out. Well, I already knew all that. The point being is that you're going to have to understand, going back to being a tribe, this government and other governments around the world does not serve you. If it doesn't serve you, then what are you doing playing in it? Maybe I do live outside of this world, because this world is not where I'm from. I can promise you that. I never believed in it. I just don't never believe in it. I believe you're not creating it yourself, and to do it yourself with the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, it doesn't exist to me. Yeah, they can prove a point, and they've tried several times to prove a point to me. But this has nothing to do with me. It's all to do with the Father and what He wants. And the Father's going to get what He wants. And all these things that they've drummed up for everybody to play in, to say, oh, well, that's the way this is. That's the way that is. The way, like the theologian, he finally texted me back to understand, what did I mean by the word, So I gave him a context of the higher intellect that he didn't deserve. The point being is that the Father loves you. That's all. Bottom line. You're His children. He loves you very much. And me and that fly is fixing to go to war. About another 2 more seconds. It's going to get bad around here. But the thing about it is that, Jesus has got your hand. They will not drop you. Not for 1 second. I'm sure you're going to go through it. But understand this. The Father will not give you no more than what you can handle. And that is a fact. I'm proof of it. I can tell you for a fact that He's going to run you through the ringer, and He's going to crank that handle, and you're going to come out the other side flat as a board. And then He's going to shake you, and you pop right up. But that's armor. That's Him building you for something, for a reason. Same reason He built me. He rebuilt me back. I never knew fear. Never. Not a day in my life. But the thing about it is, I know what everybody else is going through now. That's what the Father wanted me to see. And yes, I'm in a whole different phase of life now. The point being is, I've got a large project, and I got to figure out how to make it all work. And the Father the Father will just lay it out there, because I know He will. And understand, how do you believe like that? You got to spend time with the Father. You spend time in the Word. And as you do that, as you keep spending time with the Father and spending time in the Word, understanding that your obedience, and let me tell you something, you're not going to fake out the Father. I can promise you that. Look, He knows what you're going to do before you do it. So you might as well just shake off all the things that you think that you're going to come to Him as, and you better come up in upright and truth. Truth and honor is His big thing, okay? So understand, when you go up with the Father, you better be standing upright. And I'm going to promise you, you might get boxed across the room, but the thing about it is that He loves you so much that He's showing you a new thing. And it is a new thing. I'm going to promise you that. Look here, I've loved the Father all my life. Didn't know any different. The Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit's all I ever known. All my life. I knew all these things were there. But I didn't know that everybody was going to jump on board. And the thing about it was, I got a laugh out of the Furby thing. And then it's not a laughing matter to me anymore. Because the point of it being is, how far did the clergy let you walk away? There we go again. But anyways, this is back on Twitch again tonight at 8 o'clock. Okay? I am Servant 777 because, once I start tearing into it, I won't quit for an hour. But just understand that you're the wonderful children of God. You are worthy. You have an inheritance in you. All you got to do is go get it. And it's not that big a deal. Spending time with the Father and spending time in the Word. Showing your obedience. And let me tell you something. He'll rock your world. Anyways, He'll rock your world. The steadfast love of God. The transgression of the wicked saith within my heart, that there is no fear of God, the most high righteous love, before His eyes. For He flattereth Himself in His own eyes, until His iniquity be found to be hateful. The words of His mouth are iniquity and deceit. He hath left off to be wise, and to do good. He deviseth mischief upon His bed. He setteth Himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. The mercy of the Lord, the most high righteous and loved, is in the heavens, and the faithfulness reacheth unto the clouds. The righteousness is like the great mountains. Thy judgments are a great deep. O Lord, the most high righteous and loved, Thou preservest man and beast. He exalts His loving kindness. How excellent is the loving kindness of God, the most high righteous and loved. Therefore the children of men put their trust under the shadow of His wings. Thou shalt be abundantly satisfied with the fatness of thy house, and thou shalt make them drink of the river of thy pleasure. For with thee is the fountain of life. In the light shall we see light. O continue the loving kindness unto them that know thee, and the righteousness to the upright in heart. Let not the foot of the proud come against me, and let not the hand of the wicked remove me. There are workers of iniquity fallen. They are cast down and shall not be able to rise. Understand that the Father, in every word, in the precepts, statutes, commandments, testimonies that you perceive, and as you strive to understand, the Father's going to keep enlightening you. The gentleman that called me shot me back the word, but the thing about it was that the word, it is I am. The I am that I am. That's all that a person needs to understand. You see what His wondrous works are. And as you be obedient to Him, then you will see His wondrous works. He will open up doors like you have never seen in your life. For me, look here. I've always known the Father. Always. I was baptized in Big Cedar River. I guess I was 11 or 12, 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there. I was five or 6 years old, and I was on top of the hill up there playing in a mud hole, catching horny toads and just, being a kid. And I looked to the southwest of the city, which we lived on the hill, and I seen a perfect page in the air that was of Hebrew, Aramaic. I don't know, it was some kind of language, but I knew it was a foreign language. It wasn't mine. But I always knew the Father. Always. I didn't have, it's not like a choice to me. There never was a choice. There never was no other understanding. Well, this is how that you got to understand with the Father. When you're being obedient, let me tell you something. Your mind's going to chase its own tail. Okay? Don't worry about that. The mind's going to say, well, let's do this, let's do that. That's Satan. Okay? Throwing darts. You stay in it to win it. I promise you. Once you get to the other side, you're going to go, oh my goodness. And this is really how this is? Is this what we live in today? Is this what Father's going to do for me every day? That's the point. Once you understand that, then nothing on this planet will ever bother you again. Because you know where you're going if something happens. And He'll make your world a more peaceful world. He'll give you things that your heart desires that you never would even think would be possible. But anyways, got you for 22 minutes. I am Servant 777, Twitch 8 o'clock. Anyways, Father loves you. I love you. Keep Jesus on your lips. Nobody comes to the Father except through the Son. Remember that. I am servant of the Most High. Bye.